Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and it helps support the show. First things first, dogs are better than cats. Just thought I should let you know. Anyway, what's up, Planeswalkers 36 back with some more Magic the Gathering today. We're playing a bit of Standard. We're playing a deck piloted originally by Zach Allen at the SCG Championship in Roanoke on the 15th. And it's you know, your run-of-the-mill ramp deck. You got some good old ramp package here. We got Leafkin Druid and Paradise Druid also. God, that stumped me for some reason. Good old turn 2 ramp package. Seems decent. We also have a little bit of nice elemental synergy with the Leafkin Druids and the Risen Reefs, allowing us to get either card draw or mana ramp. And then, of course, we have these nice Cavalier of Thorns to work with the Risen Reefs. This, once again, gets us even more ramp. What's nice is that we're also going to be able to use Cavalier of Thorns to rebuy a card from our graveyard back on top, which means that, you know, we can use something like Mass Manipulations or Nissas or Hydroid Krasis a bunch of different times. Also, 5 mana 5/6 Reach Body, not half bad. Not half bad. It's also nice that it does fuel itself. It fuels its second ability with its first ability, so that's nice. Moving back to the 2s, we do have 2 Aether Gusts, and I was deciding on whether or not to keep this or change it like I did in my blue-white video, or as some people on the internet like to say, ooh-woo. I decided not to change it. I decided to keep it as is, even though I'm going to be playing best of 1. And the reason for that is the sheer amount of decks that are either running green or red. I've been seeing, you know, very few mono black lists, but I have been seeing a couple of those. I've been seeing a couple of mono white lists, but for the most part, a lot of the decks I'm seeing either have green or red in them, so I think it should be fine. There might be a couple matches here and there where I don't get to use it and it's just like a dead card, but that's fine. Gross Power, also kind of a nice ramp card that doubles as a late game draw. Second draw, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. Essentially, early game, play it, get an additional land in, you know, you're ramping ahead of your opponent. Late game, you're just using it essentially to top deck something the hell else. 4 Hydroid Krasis. It draws and gains life, and it flies and has trample. It's strong. Gadwick the Wizened. It's like Hydroid Krasis, except you don't gain life. You draw X cards instead of half X. But when you cast a blue spell, you get to just tap shit, and that's just nice. Obviously, there aren't technically a ton of blue spells in the deck, but it's okay. It says, I think this is 19 pips, not... No, it's 19 cards. That's fine. Whatever. We have a single Quasiduplicate. Duplicate's great with Risen Reef, Cavalier. That's pretty much it, because, well, yeah. Getting another Hydroid Krasis doesn't work, because you don't get the counters, but this is the deck that was played, so this is the deck I'm going to play. Mass Manipulation, fantastic use of that mana ramp, and of course Nissa uses that mana essentially for other things, allows us to dome our opponent with the lands we've accrued. Very nice. 2 Castle Vantress. We very well might have a lot of mana and nothing to do with it. Castle Vantress allows us to potentially do something. Castle Garenbrig kind of, sort of lets us add a little bit more mana. Lets us add 1 more mana, frankly, but whatever. And then, of course, we have Temples, blah, blah, blah. Only 3 minutes? All right, I'll blow through the sideboard real quick. 2 more Aether Gusts against the wide array of red and green decks running around. Disdainful Stroke, very helpful against mid-range and control matchups. Negate mid-range and control matchups, but it is nice to have a diversity of counterspells. Return to Nature, my assumption is that this is for the food deck, the Witch's Oven decks, as well as for the Fires deck, the Jeskai Fires deck. Grixis Fires, not nearly as popular, but Jeskai Fires is, and this helps a lot. Also bring this in against control. What's nice is that you can also bring this in against other non-control blue decks, because it just becomes a nice tempo counter that makes them sad. Shifting Ceratops. Fuck you, blue. Can't be countered. I'm gonna hit you. Tamiyo, Mass Manipulation. These are probably... Tamiyo, my assumption is that this is meant to come in against some mid-range decks. Maybe discard decks as well, since a lot of those are likely to be mid-range right now. Technically, you could come up against Grixis Control, and they will have a decent amount of discard, but in general, she, I think, is for mid-range and discard heavy decks. And then another Mass Manipulation for the control or mid-range opponents. I am just going to go into Standard Ranked. And I did not practice with this because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff today. Namely, cleaning my desk area. And, like, the entire half of my room. Because I've let it get a little too messy. Yeah, I made a chocolate chip cookie. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? This hand is fine, especially since we go first. And we could just scry, probably drop a land from the top. Because I don't need another land in this. Leafkin on 2. And we'll hopefully draw something to do on 3, and then we can Nissa on 4. Seems good. I'll keep the Cav. Cav is a nice follow-up after Nissa. Black to start, alright. This Druid out. Now, obviously, the best draw here would be a Reef Boy. A Reef of the Risen variety. Green-black, so we're going to get some sort of value out of our Gust. Not the best card to draw. 4 mana. Can't really do anything with, unfortunately. So I think we're just going to play this Breeding Pool tapped. I could potentially just play Cavalier next turn. Blue, blue. Although Nissa means I could technically mass manipulation some shit. Never mind, my Leafkin Druid died, so that fucked me. We're gonna go and do that. So we're on the slow route, I guess. We are going up against Golgari Food, I assume. Could be Sultai Food. Could be Jund Food. I'm thinking it's Golgari Food. Cookie. Here I think I need a Cav. Four. So next turn I can Mass Manipulation for 2. I guess I might as well take Castle Garenbrig. Because it's better with X. Although I guess Vantress. I think I like Vantress slightly better. Because if, you know, if these 2 cards get screwed, I need something the hell else. I haven't been ramping all that much, so my opponent has just been missing mana, I suppose. Missing land drops. I'm making a mess.
Through these lands.
So if Nissa lives next turn, I can manipulate for a lot more. I'm gonna hit this island.
The land shall conquer you.
And just pass. All I need is for Nissa to live. I don't need her to be super healthy. Huh. Cookie. Sure. You're just giving me more things to steal. Do it, coward. Pass the turn. Ah, delicious. You fool. You poor, unfortunate soul. I'm gonna go on a limb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I can steal all of these. 1, 2, yeah. Yoink, 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 yoink. What do you mean I can't?
The land fights for us.
And now I'm sure I can. I'm not going to do math because fuck that. See? Perfect. Yeah, yeah. That's Simic ramp for you. You build up a board and they have decent-ish defenses, and then you just lose to a mass manipulation. Because you try to build up your board so that you can hit through their defenses, and boom, they take all your board. All your board are belong to us. Whack. This hand is okay. It's definitely not the best, especially if they don't have red or green. But their name is Guaca, and they're playing a garbage Chandra avatar. They're gonna have... I want to say they're gonna have green and red. But I think I'm leaning towards red. Notice I almost said green there. Who's on? Darkanus, D-Power, and Alec. Well, we'll go ahead and keep this, hoping, of course, our opponent has... Ah, fuck. Maybe it's an Is It deck? Shit. Oh, this makes things worse. Alright. Kept one on top. Puts the rest on the bottom. Okay, good. They have red. It's not everything, but it is something. The issue is I have what I like to call, fuck and all. I guess I'm just gonna hold up Aether Gust. Maybe they'll have put one of them in your hand. I don't think this is the draw deck. I don't think this is it Flash either. I have fucking no idea what it is. But next turn I play a Reef. Hopefully I can hit a land off my Reef. I'm playing Nissa. Oh, they're playing Jeskai. So Jeskai means that I'm actually just going to pass the turn here. I'm going to hold up Growth Spiral, but otherwise I'm going to hold up Aether Gust for Fires. I'm stupid. I should have realized this was a Fires deck, but you know what? Shut up. Oh, you hit me. Wah. Do it. Do it. Do it, coward. You want? Play Fires. You know you want to. Don't play the Sphinx. Play Fires. Do it. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to Reef and hold up Gust. Hell yeah, take that action. Yeah. I still don't believe my opponent doesn't have a Fires. Or a Cavalier. Come on, go get a Mountain. Get a Mountain and play Cavalier, you coward! Do it. Yes. Yes. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. Just waiting on you, opponent.
Trust me.
Rude. Fucking bounce Risen Reef and then attack me, you coward. I'm gonna beat you in the face with Nissa.
I've got time.
Do it. Yes. If my opponent has a counter spiel, that's gonna make me very sad. Please don't have a counter. Please don't have a counter. Here comes a counter. I fucking hate your guts. Well, Aether Gust is not a thing, so. I did that so I draw something to hell else. I can't use this at instant speed, so. Oh, of course they have fires. I hate when I'm right and I just get fucked anyway. Damn you, fires! Well, now they can't counter me. So that's nice, I guess.
I've got it.
Ow. I wouldn't hate a mass manipulation.
Seek shelter in my stewardship. Harness the elements.
2, 4, 7. I could get a reef. And then I'd only be able to Krasis for 2. Not really great. If I had a green source, the deck runs 28 lands. If I had a green source, then I get to have my cake and eat it too. I can Krasis for 2, for 4. No, I think I'll just do this. One, 2. I could do it for 5. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. The disappointment. No, this came first, so it would just been an island. Eh.
I'll protect you.
If they attack with both, I'm just going to block the Bone Crusher Giants. That went to the bottom. That's good. Make it Gusted? It is. That's fine, I guess, because it just means I'll draw more. Well, no, Nissa's gonna die. Although if they kill Nissa, then I can kill their Teferi. So that was their first spell that they cast? Yeah. This is the first spell they cast this turn, so they can cast another spell. But if they don't have an additional blocker... Yeah. So Nissa dies. Okay.
Nature's true power.
I can force them to lose the fires, I guess? So either they draw the fires or they just lose the fires and have to pay mana for things. Either situation I'm fine with. It also makes it so that they can't cast both of the cards in their hand if they're both spells. So I think this is a fine time to pull the trigger. Alright, they do decide to keep it on top, that's fine. Now I have 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 14. I have 14 mana. I'm doing this just in case I have a, Oh, I can counter things now. Sure, that's not a counter. I was doing that just in case I get a mass manipulation. Because I could just steal his cards. This like gets rid of their fires potentially, so I'm fine with that. So unfortunately, don't actually know what card they have. Interesting. There's no way playing another one of these is correct. Yeah, because I've already used Nissa, so I don't have access to more blue. Yeah, shut the fuck up. 2, 4, 7. No. 2. I think I'm just gonna do 5 again, because I kind of want to keep my forests. Yeah. I think I just do 5. And I'm going to attack Teferi. I'm going to lose one of my forests, but I think that's fine. So as long as they don't have Cavalier of Flame, I should be fine. I guess, yeah, I guess I guess I did make a mistake. If I'd killed Teferi first, then I could have let them keep fires. If they happened to play Cavalier of Flame, then I would have still had my Aether whatever. So this is fine. I obviously have to block the Cavalier of Gales. And I'll block the Bonecrusher Giant with my Forest. And then I go to 1, and then my opponent plays a Bonecrusher Giant at my face. Ooh, I'm so good at this game. I'm playing for both myself and my opponent. I think that's one of the... I don't know if I'd call it a skill, necessarily. It's just familiarity. You really want to try and familiarize yourself with the decks that are popular and what cards are being played in them. What cards are likely being played, etc., etc. And the more... literally, the more you play. Like, I haven't played this version of Jeskai Fires yet, but I've played against it plenty of times. I've seen lists of it on MTG Goldfish. And getting to know what your opponent potentially has, what they're likely to have, what would be the worst for you for them to have, all of those things can help you just have better play. Obviously, sometimes it can be an issue when you're kind of tunnel visioning on them playing one particular thing, and like maybe you're playing around that card that they don't actually have, maybe they're not even running in the deck. But trying to make sure you're familiar with, okay, like if I play this card now, I know a lot of these decks are running this counter. What happens if they have that counter, right? Like, those are important questions to ask yourself. I'm absolutely going to keep another growth spiral. Just trying to get that Hydroid Krasis. Do this and pass. I got a Krasis for a bunch. Green. Cool. Is it green-blue? It is! Look at that Fibblefib. Just plop a Breeding Pool in there, tapped. And we'll just chuck this in there and then pass. Hold up an Aether Gust, which is nice. Growth Spiral of your own. Alright. Sure. And let that happen because it's much more important to gust something the fuck else. Something stronger. Bottom, cool, cool. Alright, is this a Simic food deck? A Simic... I don't think the Simic Flash, right? Flash isn't... It's Bant! Oh. Color me surprised, so this could be Bant Flash. Do I want to play a Hydroid Krasis for 4? I would draw 2 cards. Alternatively, I essentially do nothing by playing Aether Gust. I feel like if they had it to Fairy, they would have cast it already. Although, for what it's worth, my opponent didn't know I wasn't on Simic Flash, so they could have thought that I had a counter girl. New Mystic Snake. I don't know what's in Bant. I'm going to play the Krasis for 4. Because at the very least I get to draw 2. Okay. Those were pretty bad 2s. But, for what it's worth, this is a deck that runs... Quench. Okay. This is a deck that runs 28 lands, so... Castle Vantress hopefully will help us out. Reclamation. Bouncing the fuck out of that! I think I would rather let them draw something else and then force a bounce because it gives me a little bit more time. Yeah. So the cast a Fairy here, then I need to Aether Gust it in response. And not be a bad player. Okay, cool. I'm gonna say go away. I can pay for a Quench. I can pay for a Syncopate. Is Syncopate still... Oh, Syncopate's not still legal, right? Right? The last one was Dominaria? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Sabotage, unfortunately, I cannot pay for. But if my opponent had something super big to play, then they can't. So they're on Bant something or other. I'm gonna do... Yep, they're doing something. Great. Menace is very unlikely to resolve. No, they weren't even up to anything. Okay. This is pretty certainly gonna get countered. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Quench and the Sabotage were both just as likely as each other, so... Very sure.
Right on schedule.
I assume minus, yeah.
Let's try this.
Probably should stop playing with the cube. You fool, I have a Druid now! You will never defeat my Druid. I guess I probably should have used Vantress on upkeep. Potentially an oopsie, but... Luckily they have fucking nothing to do with this reclamation. They have nothing to do with this reclamation. I don't think they play green spell. I'm gonna do that and then Vantress again. Hey, look, it's a Gadwick. I don't think I should play Gadwick this turn, though. I doubt they're making me discard. I just want to maximize the potential for Gadwick. Even though I'm pretty sure it's just going to get countered. I should hold up enough for double quench, I think. So I think I should hold 4 back. 3, 6. So I could do X equals 4? I can do X equals 5 because of Leafkin Druid. If I do X equals 4, then I can also use Vantress. But I can just use Vantress on my turn. Yeah, so I'll do X equals 4. 1, 2, 3. Or, sorry. 5. I'll do X equals 5. So I can pay for double quench. Don't tell me it's another sabotage. 3 sabotage. Oh, I guess it could be absorb. It's a Frilled Mystic. I didn't realize they were playing Frilled Mystic. So yeah, this is just Bant counterspells. What's with the reclamation though? Because it doesn't look like they're playing anything on their main phase for it to matter.
Trust me, I have a plan.
They have 1 card in their hands. Well, I have another Gadwick. So they have 1 card. I can do Gadwick for 3, which would allow me to still play around a single quench. So I guess I'm going to do that. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'm doing this because I want them to it also to be less likely that they have another Frilled Mystic. Come on, don't count my Leafkin Druid and quench me, you monster. They have a quench. Yeah, they're looking at my Leafkin Druid and shit. They have a quench. And I played around it because fuck you, Basil. I don't know what GT Basil means. I need to put this fucking cube down. I'm just fidgeting with it like it's some sort of fidget cube, even though it's not. Who do you think you are? I am. That's right, I did it. Next turn I get to use Gadwick for even more.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Never mind. I'm gonna fucking kill this fairy though. Never mind, looks like Gadwick's going away. Interesting.
If you show remorse, I'll show respect. There goes nothing.
Ugh. Sure. I'm not going to play the other Gadwick until next turn. And I can activate Vantress at the end of turn. Once I'm 34, I'm on 35, so my opponent has drawn a little bit more than I have. All your damn counter spells. So this is a matchup where you'd bring in Ceratops, because they can't do shit about it. Well, technically they can. They have access to. Didn't they have Aether Gust? I guess not. So they're essentially wasting another Teferi.
This isn't a fight you can win.
To bounce their Frilled Mystic back. I guess it's not a waste because they get to bounce their Frilled Mystic. If they're going to bounce their Frilled Mystic, they should have attacked with both. Because I can't cast things at instant speed, which means I literally cannot do anything on board. Oh, they put that back in their hands. Okay. That makes me think they have another Frilled Mystic in hands. Yeah, I don't think I can win this. Even if I get a Mass Manipulation off. Which is very unlikely because of the amount of counterspells they have now. Okay, so I understand where they're going with the deck. Well... Leafkin Druid triggers Risen Reef, but I don't think I care. Even though I'm just going to top deck a land here. Not a land. So if I want, I can just Krasis for a fucking load and not care if it gets countered. Because it's just a lot of cards to draw. I could technically Krasis for 4, 8, 14? Don't mind if I do. Counter me, see if I give a fuck. Quench? They let it happen. Oh, they just waited for that trigger to resolve. Oh, fuck. My opponent might also be running Mass Manipulation, which would suck. No, Quench, wow. It's like I knew that what they were playing. No attacks, please. Oh, no, I have to discard? I'll discard a Temple. So the plan is just play a fuckload of things in a single turn and hope my opponent can't do a damn thing about it? I take that. I assume we're going to see another Hydroid Krasis? Nope. Alright. I think I have to hold a Mass Manipulation. My opponent has 5 cards left in hand. Hey, what's up, Bam Carrot? Welcome to the club. I think we're going long term, baby. Castle Reef. My opponent, I assume, is going to let it resolve. Who's drawing cards now, mother? Take that action, hell yeah. Don't mind if I do. It's another land into play. Cast a Cav. See if this gets countered. Oh no, it's another Frilled Mystic. Go cast another Cav. 3, 5, yeah. Sabotage. Unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Got rid of a time wipe. Well, that's just interesting. Oh, I got a challenge. I'm in the middle of the game. And that's still at 2. Okay, so this is still at 2. They've used 2 quenches, 3 sabotages. They've shown me 0 absorbs. They've used 2 of their Frilled Mystics. They're only at a little bit less. Oh, I'm fucking blocking a Frilled Mystic. Yeah. I'm blocking a Frilled Mystic, dude. I don't give a fuck. 4 cards in their hand. Only halfway through the deck. It's so incredibly unlikely that they have counterspells left that can deal with Mass Manipulation. But knowing my luck... Alright, we're going to cast Nissa first because she does a great job of baiting. And she also helps me out with mana. So we'll cast Nissa first. And this certainly gets countered. For real? Okay.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Gonna Gadwick for 4? No, stop it. Gadwick for 4. 5? 5. There's no way my opponent doesn't have another counterspell, right? Like, I'm not crazy, am I? This is not free, I guess. Mass Manipulation for 4? How much would I have? 1, 2... Oh, I should still have plenty of mana, so... I'm gonna Mass for 4. And try to just take their shit. Tap this, I guess. It's not really permanent, so... There's no way this resolves, right? Unless I was right and they just don't have another counterspell. Which would be fucking great. My opponent might be upset. I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana? What are you looking at my graveyard for? Who are you bouncing? Nissa? That's fine. That means nothing. Time wipe! Wait, why play that and not... Okay, so now you can't cast things at instant speed anymore. Was it forest? No.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Rise, my elemental friend.
So I can do this for 4? Yeah, I don't know why my opponent didn't use the Frilled Mystic. Oh. All in a day's work for the mayor of Value Town. that was a bit of a fucking nail biter, if I do say so myself. Is the challenge still on? Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, Bam Carrot. You can't just randomly challenge me. I'm sorry. If you're watching, hello. Okay, so people who want to challenge me. When I'm recording I usually record for videos between 1600 and 4 p.m. and about 8 p.m. GMT -6, which is it's Central US time. Standard, I think, might be daylight. I don't fucking know. GMT -6. If you see me on Arena, not during that like 4 to 8 time period, feel free to challenge me, because that means I'm probably just playing casually. But during that time, I apologize, I'm not actually going to be able to accept the duel. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Zin, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, it really means a lot, and it does really, really help the show. You can find links to that down in the description, as well as links to a bunch of other really important stuff that I stockpiled for you. I do, of course, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add subscription to your mana pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, pass the turn and the vid to some of your friends, and of course, until next time, all will be one.